皆さん、こんにちは。Welcome back to NihonGoal. 元気ですか? This is part 2 of Minna No Nihongo Intermediate Lesson 8. If you haven't seen it yet, make sure to check out part 1 of this lesson first. In this lesson, we will learn about the following grammar points. はい、準備できたら始めましょう。Our third grammar point is Verb ta Noun. This is used to describe the state of a noun using a verb. First, let's review. In beginner lesson 22, we learned about modifying nouns using a sentence. For example, 赤いコートを着ている人, a person wearing a red coat. So we are modifying the person, which is someone who is wearing a red coat. Next is from lesson 29, where we learned how to express the state of something. For example, 窓が割れています, meaning the window is broken. So this time we are going to combine the two, and we are going to modify a noun. So how do we use this pattern? So in the review example, we use the verb in teiru form, right? So we will change teiru to ta form, or in past tense form, and then we can attach this to noun. For example, Tanaka-san wa megane o kaketeimasu, meaning Mr. Tanaka is wearing glasses. So we are describing the state of Mr. Tanaka, which is he is wearing glasses now. We can use the ta form of kaketeiru or kaketeimasu. So we can say megane o kaketa Tanaka-san. So literally, it means glasses wearing Mr. Tanaka. And then we can use this modified noun inside a sentence. Another example, 線が曲がっている. 線が曲がっている, meaning the line is curved. We can change 曲がっている to ta form. So it becomes 曲がった線. 曲がった線 means curved line. So let's take a look at some examples. First example, there has been a broken bicycle parked near the station. So we are describing bicycle as something broken. 駅の近くに near the station, then our verb is to be broken. So something is broken is 壊れている. So we change this to ta form or past tense form. It becomes 壊れた, followed by the noun, which is a bicycle or 自転車. 駅の近くに壊れた自転車がずっと置いてあります. So ずっと for a long time, 置いて has been put there. 駅の近くに壊れた自転車がずっと置いてあります. Another example, which kid is Kaylee? The girl wearing a hat and beautiful clothes. We are describing the noun, which is the girl, as someone wearing a hat and beautiful clothes. First, which kid is Kaylee? Kaylee-chan wa どの子ですか? 帽子をかぶって wearing a hat, きれいな服を and wearing beautiful clothes. Our verb is wearing, which is 着ている. We change it to ta form, which becomes 着た, and then our noun, the girl, 女の子. 着た女の子. 帽子をかぶってきれいな服を着た女の子です. Next example, a dirty pan has been thrown away. If you just wash it, you can still use it though. What a waste. Our verb is something is dirty, so to be dirty, which is 汚れている, which becomes 汚れた, and then followed by the noun that it describes, which is a pan. 鍋, 汚れた鍋が捨ててあります, has been thrown away, or someone put it there and throw it away. Followed by 洗えば, if you just wash it, 使えるのに. もったいないですね. 汚れた鍋が捨ててあります. 洗えば使えるのにもったいないですね。もったいない means what a waste or to be wasteful. Okay, however, when a noun is modified by ている form that indicates an ongoing action, the meaning changes if the ている form is replaced by the た form. Ongoing action means a present progressive tense. For example, is reading. So someone is doing an action right now and it's still going on. Cornelius is reading a book is コニリウスさんは本を読んでいます。So currently, he is reading a book. However, this does not equal to if we change it to た form. 本を読んだ. So we change 読んでいます to 読んだ. And the person we are describing is Cornelius. So 本を読んだコニリウスさん. Cornelius who read the book. Here, reading becomes read. So it becomes past tense. So it doesn't means the same thing. So we cannot use this pattern verb ta noun in this case. So be very careful. Another example. My friend who works at Tokyo Electric. Our verb is work. So currently, he is working there. 東京電機で働いている友達. Again, present progressive. We cannot say 東京電機で働いた友達 because it means my friend who worked at Tokyo Electric. So it becomes past tense. So it doesn't mean the same thing. So again, we cannot use this form with an ongoing action or a present progressive tense. We can only use it with verbs describing the state of a noun. Our fourth grammar point is 何々によって. In the pattern A によって B, it means that B varies or changes depending on A. So the sentence pattern means something varies or changes depending on a noun. To use this pattern, we just add によって after a noun. So noun によって何々. For example, 人によって違う, meaning it differs or it varies from person to person. First example, favorite food varies from person to person. Our noun is person to person. So first, let's say the subject, favorite food. 好きな食べ物は, and then our noun, 人, followed by によって, and then varies is 違う or to be different. 好きな食べ物は人によって違う. Next example, the scenery changes depending on the season. 季節によって depending on the season, our subject is the scenery. 景色が変わる changes. 季節によって景色が変わる. The scenery changes depending on the season. We can also say 景色は or が季節によって変わる. Next example. Does the way you speak changes depending on who you are talking to? Yes, sometimes it changes depending on the situation. First, the way we speak is 言葉遣い. 言葉遣いは相手, so the person you are talking to or the other person によって変わりますか? Does it change? 言葉遣いは相手によって変わりますか? Yes, sometimes it changes depending on the situation. はい、時と sometimes by によっても by によって means depending on the situation. Yes, there are also times that depending on the situation 変わります. It changes. はい、時と場合によっても変わります. Next example, Is the price of gasoline always the same? No, it's different depending on the price at which oil was imported. First, ガソリンの値段はいつも同じですか? Is the price of gasoline always the same? いいえ、No. 石油を輸入した時の値段。石油を the oil 輸入したimported 時 at the time the oil was imported の値段 so the price at which the oil was imported によって depending 違います so it means that it's different depending on the price at which the oil was imported いいえ、石油を輸入した時の値段によって違います。Our fifth grammar point is 何々たまま or 何々のまま. This indicates that something is in the same state after verb or action or a noun. This is used in case where something is not usually done in that situation described. So basically this means as it is. We can use this pattern with verbs. So in case of verbs, it should be in ta form. So verb ta mama. And for nouns, we have to add the particle no. Noun no mama. For example, megane o kakete iru. It becomes megane o kaketa mama. Meaning with my glasses on. Another example is using a noun. The noun shitagi. Meaning underwear. Shitagi no mama, meaning with underwear on. So let's take a look at some example sentences. For example, I took a bath with my glasses on. Megane o, our verb is to wear glasses, which is kakeru. Megane o kakeru. We change this to ta form because we have a verb. Kaketa followed by mama. Megane o kaketa mama. So wearing it as is. So usually we don't really wear our glasses when we take a bath. But in this case, the person is wearing his or her glasses as is while taking a bath. Ofuro ni haita. Megane o kaketa mama, ofuro ni haita. Another example, I was surprised by the earthquake last night that I went out in my underwear. Of course, we don't usually go out in our underwear. But since there is an earthquake, it's an emergency, you went out wearing just your underwear. ゆうべの地震にびっくりして I was surprised by the earthquake last night. So, 下着の So here we just use 下着 or a noun. With a noun, we add no. 下着のまま In my underwear, in just my underwear, 外に出た. I went outside. ゆうべの地震にびっくりして、下着のまま外に出た. Another example, you can enter the room with your shoes on. Of course, if you're familiar with the Japanese culture, we don't enter someone's house wearing our shoes from outside. We usually take them off and wear a slipper inside. That's why in this case, you can enter the room with your shoes on. Can be 靴を履いた. So the verb is to wear shoes. 靴を履いたまま. Just as is. Keeping your shoes on, you can enter the room. 部屋に履いてもいいよ. 靴を履いたまま部屋に履いてもいいよ. You can't get in the car? Yes, I closed the door with the key inside. 車に入れないんですか? Can't you enter the car? Yes, 鍵を中に. The key inside 置いた put inside 置いたままドアを閉めてしまったんです. Literally, it means I put the keys inside and shut the door. A、鍵を中に置いたままドアを閉めてしまったんです。で、しまったんです means that the speaker is regretting or regrets his action. A、鍵を中に置いたままドアを閉めてしまったんです。Our last grammar point is 何々からだ。This is used to state the cause or reason for an event. So this particular pattern is used to reply to a question or inquiry about the reason for something. Meaning, it's because 何々, that's why 何々. How do we use this pattern? Basically, we just change the sentence into plain form. So we have sentence 1, plain form, からだ. So basically, you are changing the sentence into a noun, right? So if you change it to plain form, it becomes a noun plus からだ. Because 何々. Another format is when you want to say both the reason and the result. For example, sentence 1 in plain form, no wa. Sentence 2, plain form, からだ. Meaning the reason for sentence 1 is because of sentence 2. So let's take a look at some examples. For example, the reason that I don't want to get married is because I want to live a free life. So we have two sentences. I don't want to get married and I want to live a free life. Our sentence 1 is I don't want to get married. 私が結婚したくない. We use the plain form, したくない, followed by no wa. So this is the result. The reason I don't want to get married is because I want to live a free life. 自由な生活をしたい. Again in plain form. Followed by からです. から means because. And then です. To make it polite. 私が結婚したくないのは The reason that I don't want to get married 自由な生活をしたいからです. It's because I want to live a free life. I often get asked why I don't want a child. The reason is, it's because it's hard to raise a child. 私がなぜ子供が欲しくないのかよく聞かれています。It's because it's hard to raise a child. Our sentence is, it's hard to raise a child. 子供を育てること raising a child is difficult, 難しい. Followed by からだ or からです. 子供を育てることは難しいからだ or からです. Why did you quit your job? So there is a question. Someone is asking for the reason. Because I wanted to go to graduate school and study more professionally. 仕事を辞めたのはなぜですか? What is the reason that you quit your job? It's because I wanted to go to graduate school and study more professionally. 大学院に入ってもっと専門的な勉強をしたかった. So here we have a past tense. したかった followed by からです. It's because I wanted to go to graduate school and study more professionally. 大学院に入ってもっと専門的な勉強をしたかったからです. Why do you want to be a doctor? It's because being a doctor is a wonderful job in which you help people. どうして医者になりたいですか? 医者は人を助ける素晴らしい仕事だからです. So again in plain form. It's because it's a great job in which you help other people. 医者は人を助ける素晴らしい仕事だからです. So normally we will say 医者は人を助ける素晴らしい 仕事です。We change this to plain form. That's why it becomes だ。です becomes だ。followed by からです。医者は人を助ける素晴らしい仕事だからです。And lastly, for our bonus grammar point, we have 何々髪、hair, 目、eyes, or 形をしています。This is an expression to describe a visual characteristic. For example, this doll has big eyes. So in the book, it says, この人形は大きい目をしています。This literally means the doll is wearing big eyes. Although this is grammatically okay, if you want to say this doll has big eyes, it's still better to just say この人形は目が大きい。So, this doll's eyes are big. But if you want to say this, it's fine, but it's not very common. It's still better to say この人形は目が大きい or subject's eyes or someone's eyes are big. 目が大きいです or 目が大きい。Another example in the book, for example, Ronan has long hair. So describing visual characteristic, which is the hair. In the book, you can say, Ronan さんは長い髪をしています。Again, this literally means is wearing long hair. But it's more natural to say, Ronan さんは髪が長い or 長いです。Last example, this loaf is shaped like a hat. このパンは帽子みたいな so like a hat 形をしている。このパンは帽子みたいな形をしている。So it's wearing or it looks like it's shaped like a hat. In this example, it is okay to use this pattern. このパンは帽子みたいな形をしている。Let's try. あなたが日本語を勉強したいと思ったのはなぜですか？ Why did you want to study Japanese? Write your answers in the comment section below. はい、お疲れ様でした。今日のレッスンはどうでしたか？役に立ったら LIKE ボタンを押してくださいね。もし質問とかコメントがあれば、ぜひ下に書いてください。I hope you learned something today. Make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the future lessons. And if you want to support this channel even more, please consider becoming my Patreon through my Patreon page where you can get the lesson PDF and other study materials. And to all my Patreons, 本当にありがとうございます。Thank you for your continued support. Okay, so that's it for today's lesson. I will see you in the next one. またね! I would like to give a big shout out to our elite scholars, Cornelius, Constantine, Kaylee, Bedside Book, and Ronan. And to our study buddies, Paul, Taras, Jimmy, Stephanie, and DM. And to all our NihonGoal students, 本当にありがとうございます. Thank you so much for your continued support.